Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Conversations from the Bench. My name is Talar. I was away for a little bit, but now I'm back, and I'm excited to talk what's been going on in sports. And we're going to start off with the WNBA. The WNBA season kicked off, super exciting, and we get to see Paige Bueckers. We get to see Paige Bueckers do her thing. And she's been good. I mean, it's notoriously hard to get your rhythm in the WNBA. It's a really difficult league. Many players have said that. It's the most competitive league in the world. I mean, there are so few spots and so much talent. So she's starting to find her rhythm early. She's averaging about, 14 and a half points per game. We've got 6.5 rebounds and about 5 assists per game, which for a rookie, second game in to already have those averages, I think she's doing a really great job. It's a team that has the number one overall pick for a reason, right? We're not expecting Dallas to contend for a title. So them starting out 0-2, is it a surprise? No. But basketball seasons, and now this is a much shorter season than the NBA season, but basketball seasons are just chock full of up and down because the season changes so much. Football is the same way. Any sports season, you're not the same at the end as you were at the beginning. At the beginning of the NBA season, the Orlando Magic were like the top seed. And then, unfortunately, injuries happen. Water finds its level. Talent plays to talent level, whether it's high or low or medium, whatever that may be. So it would be cool to see the Wings, continue to get better as the season moves forward. But I'm excited that Paige is starting off strong here. It's really exciting. It's great for the league, right? I had seen that hard foul that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were involved in, and the whole thing of always a flagrant. It's a hard foul. And that's it. It's basketball. Man, if you've played basketball, that's a hard foul. It is what it is. And I think we need to stop trying to make the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark rivalry thing happen. That, to me, has never been a rivalry. Like, it's interesting to look at, and it's like, oh, wow, like, they played national championship, whatever. It is much, to me, more exciting to look at a potential Paige Bueckers, Caitlin Clark rivalry, right? Because Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark faced off in the Final Four the year that Caitlin Clark ended up getting drafted. And they were just going toe-to-toe, right? It was a very tight game. Iowa barely won that game to advance. And Paige was just matching Caitlin Clark and vice versa. And it was really a battle between them and the bigs on those teams. And it was so much fun. I think personally the rivalry is going to land with the guards. They haven't played yet this season. Obviously, it's so early in the year. But I think we are going to get, as their careers progress, I think it's going to be very, very exciting to watch those two face off against each other. I've said it before. Paige Bueckers was kind of like Caitlin Clark before she tore her ACL. And then that allowed Caitlin Clark to be kind of the lone star to come out of that draft class because they were supposed to come out together. And then Paige took her extra year because of her torn ACL. And now, we have them facing off against each other in the WNBA at some point, which is going to be super exciting. I do wonder what would have happened if Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers came out in the same draft. Who do you take number one? I think it would have been so interesting because Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark were the clear-cut favorites in their drafts. Of course, generational talents. But what if they were in the same draft? What does Indiana do? Do the Sparks end up with one of those superstars? And they have a superstar in their own in Cameron Brink, and we're going to get to that in a second. But Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers is where we're going to find that rivalry. And it's going to be really good, and we're going to get spoiled as fans because they're both so good in their own right. And we get to watch them just be brilliant at their craft. And I can't wait. Speaking of the Sparks, Cameron Brink, we do have the Sparks looking to make the playoffs this year. right? They've had a couple high draft picks at this point. They've kind of been in the middle ground. They're looking to really get back to where they used to be in like their glory days, right? They had Lisa Leslie, they had Candace Parker. Oh, I love those teams. They were so good. And to have at one point when they had both of them on the same team together, they had Leslie and Candace on the same team together. I mean, wow. Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker on the same. That was unbelievable. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, that is so fun. But now we're talking Cameron Brink, and Cameron Brink is not back from her ACL yet. So that's going to be a really, really huge boost for this team. I can't even state how big that's going to be. It's going to help them out so much. You have Kelsey Plum running point now, and if that's not a commitment to try to get into the playoffs by getting her, I don't know what could have been. Like you're looking around, you're like, we need a veteran point guard who can really right the ship here. There's your girl. I think Kelsey Plum, Cameron Brink being on the same squad now, I'm so excited to see that kind of two-man game between those two, see how that chemistry develops. The Sparks have some really exciting things, I think, to look forward to. And I'm hoping we see Cameron Brink back soon. She was so good last year before she tore her ACL. I mean, she was so good. And it's the rookies are great. The league is in such good hands. The talent level is through the roof. I'm just so ecstatic about this season. I mean, I watched the NBA growing up. The NBA. I did, but I watched the WNBA growing up, and I saw how that the league has developed, and I've seen how it has grown, and it is so exciting to see how accessible everything is now. To see people looking at these women as what they are, which is brilliant athletes. There were times I couldn't find WNBA games on TV. I would have to follow it just online, or you would here and there would be like an all-star game, or the finals would be on when Diana Taurasi would be playing. I remember watching the Phoenix Mercury win a title, and I just remember being so excited that it was on TV that I could watch it. So to just have everything so accessible now, and to just have access to these girls and to be able to watch them more consistently, I'm just so proud of the league and where it's come from and where it's going to. The future of women's sports is so exciting, and we're all in for like a great ride with it. Speaking of the Mercury, they've overhauled their roster a bit. Diana Taurasi retired. To me, that's the WNBA. That's like the GOAT. Like she was unbelievable. And they're also trying to make a run, right? They obviously want to get. They have Alyssa Thomas now. Like they want to get back to their standard of trying to win titles, and I think they've made a real effort to try to do that. So super early in the season, there's so much to look forward to, and I might have to get myself some WNBA League Pass so that I can actually watch these games, because I can't. It's hard to watch it if you don't have it, right? Like they're on more than they've ever been, which is great, but I want more of them. I want more consistency. I want to be able to watch kind of any game anytime. Let's pivot to the NBA. My beloved Boston Celtics got eliminated from the playoffs, which is congratulations to the Knicks. Great series. You guys played your hearts out, and that's what it's about. That's the playoffs. You need to want it more. And even when the Celtics were healthy, they didn't want it more. And I was on vacation for the first two games, so I wasn't able to watch them, but I would wake up and look at the score and be like, what is going on? But I think the Celtics physically worn out, mentally absolutely worn out. They've had a lot of long postseason runs the last few years, a lot, especially since Jason Tatum came in the league. They're kind of consistently in the ECF, which we're spoiled as fans, which thankfully we are in the ECF, but a ton of deep postseason runs, the Olympics, Jaylen Brown's playing on a meniscus tear, and I think they're just wiped out. And I don't want to make excuses for them, but I genuinely think they ran out of gas, and that's it. And I don't think that Orlando series helped. I think that also kind of beat them up a bit. Jason Tatum's Achilles exploded, right? Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. It's so unfortunate. I have been terrified all year that he was going to tear an ACL. Something was going to happen. I had this really bad feeling because he played the Olympics, right? He didn't play a lot, but he did. He spent his summer training and playing in the Olympics. He had that really deep postseason run. And after a while, he has played so much basketball, guys, that after a while, your body is going to be like, dude, I can't do this anymore. And he did make a kind of a unnatural motion, right? When he stepped a little too far back to lunge for that ball, which resulted in that tear. But I mean, that was going to, your muscles are just so worn out at that point. I don't know exactly how Achilles injuries works. I'm not a doctor, but I'm assuming your muscles are worn out to a point where maybe that was going to happen. Like, you're so tired. You've played a lot of basketball. You've put a lot on your Achilles, on your ACLs, on everything, that maybe an injury was a little bit inevitable with this. I'm so upset. I really hope he has a healthy and fast recovery. Healthy is the biggest thing here. Take your time, come back when you feel ready. He's only 27. He still has such a bright future ahead in his career. He takes care of himself. And, Kevin Durant, everyone talks about Kevin Durant. He tore his ACL at around 30 in the NBA Finals. Not his ACL, excuse me, his Achilles. He's come back and he's been awesome. And he's the gold standard for that. And I think the medicine around that is just getting better all the time. So very, very excited for the future of Tatum. The team is going to look different, obviously, when he comes back. Porzingis is probably gone. Holiday's probably gone. And this is for, obviously they need to cut some cash. And Tatum being out next year, that makes it a little easier to swallow that pill, I think, of, all right, we need to trade away some guys and get under this second apron. They're going to keep Derek White. I heard this thing yesterday. I read this thing that the Warriors are looking for Derek White. I bet every team is looking for Derek White, dude. No. Because guess what? When Jason Tatum comes back from injury, he needs a team to come back to. You think he's going to want to come back to a rebuild? No, you retool. The Spurs would retool. That's what you do when you have a superstar. He is your system, right? And we saw that in Game 6. He makes that entire engine go. And you're going to want him to come back to Derek White. You're going to want him to come back to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is going to stay on this team. And I don't know why people have tossed out the idea that he won't be. He will be here and Derek White will be here. Everyone else is a question mark. Is Al Horford going to retire? Is Luke Kornet going to resign? Luke Kornet is going to be super sought after because big men don't just grow on trees. It's kind of like a left tackle in football, right? It's harder and harder to come by these big men who are who can give you some good stuff during games. That are not just tall, that are like they have skill sets. And Luke Kornet came out in game 5. Luke Kornet is one of JT's favorite teammates, favorite big men to play with. And he came out and he was like, I am going to do this for my guy. We saw that in the way he played. And I think the Celtics are going to try really hard to retain him, and they should. With a lot of questions surrounding Al Horford, and then if Kristaps gets traded, he's your big guy. Kornet's your big guy. And they have his bird rights, which means they can go over the cap to sign him. They can offer him more money. Is he going to want to go somewhere else? Potentially. A lot of teams need big men. The Lakers need a big man. Everybody kind of needs a big man. If you don't have like a Wemby or a Gobert or a Towns or someone, you need a big guy. So I'm really hoping he can stay here. He's been such a good addition to this team, a great find, undrafted out of Vanderbilt. He was a defensive player in the year in college. Really hoping Kornet stays. A Kornet, White, Brown, Pritchard. And then you can kind of go from there, right? And then you have your rookies you can develop. Shireman's going to go into year 2. You can continue to develop him. Look to the draft to pick up another senior coming out of college. I think the more mature guys are what's going to help you out here. You can't just put another freshman project in. I think drafting seniors is kind of the way forward, and it's the correct way forward. And I think with NIL, we're going to see more people come out later, which is exciting because now these guys get to refine their games. And we've seen it in the WNBA. These girls work for 4 years. They get their degrees. They're only allowed to come out after their 4 years of college. And then they get into the league. And guess what? Their games are good. They've been able to work on their game more. And now when they get into a professional league, they can pick up things maybe a little faster. They can, they're a little more polished. If they're shooting, they're passing, they're all their skills. So the Celtics, huge question mark. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm kind of excited just because I love team building. I think team building is one of the best things in sports. How do you put it together? What puzzle pieces fit? And I think Brad Stevens is the guy to help us through that. He is 100% the guy. I will shine light on the conference finals. New York City and Indy, right? The New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers. Historically, great series. We go back to Reggie Miller. I mean, if you don't know about the Reggie Miller series with the Knicks back in the 90s, you have to go watch. I believe there's a documentary about it. I have seen it. You need to go watch that before the series or during the series and figure out like what is the history here, because it is a heck of a history. And I know they played last year in the playoffs, so that history, if you didn't look at it last year, look at it this year, because it's a more high profile series. It's the ECF. That history is so cool. I mean, they don't like each other, man. They just don't. And that's awesome. Go check it out. OKC Minnesota. We, as of the time this is recorded, we saw this last night was game 1. Minnesota lost. I think OKC's going to win this, but I have seen the reactions on the internet to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they are the same reactions I've had all year. He is a very good basketball player. He is an all-star. He is tremendous. He's a foul merchant, and he plays kind of gross basketball. And it's the same basketball that we saw James Harden kind of elevate, right? The foul baiting, and then Joel Embiid, and now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And the internet is going kind of ballistic with it and being like, wait a minute, this is actually terrible. It is terrible. It's awful basketball. Jalen Brunson does it too. And I won't the Celtics guys do it too sometimes. They don't do it consistently like SGA does, like some other guys do. I don't like it when the Celtics do it. I watched it and I'm like, I just don't think it's ethical basketball in any, I hate it. It's just snowballed since Harden really started to foul bait. And it's gotten just so much worse. And I thought NBA was going to fix it this year. And the NBA, I don't know. I guess they decided they always do this where the beginning of the season they'll start to call things and then it just doesn't hold by the end of the year. You have to fix this. Your product is so bad. If you get a SGA Jalen Brunson finals where two guys who foul bait a lot, this is going to get really ugly. Like, people are going to be online being like, what kind of product is this? You have to let guys play. You can't just bail them out. I thought the playoffs were supposed to be the place where they don't get bailed out. I mean, we'll see. But that was not good basketball. It's not ethical basketball. It's not. No one wants it. No one wants to see it. I don't want any part of it. I'm going to shift to football. Kind of quiet in the NFL, right? They had the draft. We have OTAs. At least the New England Patriots have OTAs. It's an entirely new offense. So we have to be very patient. And I want to remind people, you have to be patient with the new offense. Be patient with Drake May. It is a completely new system. And hopefully it's a system that's going to stay in place. The longer he works in it, the easier it will be for him. He had 4 picks at practice. 2 of them were Christian Gonzalez, which, great, we have a good secondary. That's what you want. Patriots have a good secondary. Do not overreact to OTAs. The season is like 4 months away. They won't start training camp till the end of July. We're already at the end of May, so it's not that far, really. But do not overreact to these reports. I think the kid's going to be fine. And maybe it'll be a rough, first few weeks. Again, it's a new system, and Josh McDaniel's system is not notorious for being easy, right? Tom Brady has talked about it. It's a pretty complex system, and I'm sure he's kind of worked through it. He said he spent the last year refining it and at universities and kind of modernizing it. But Josh McDaniel's system is not necessarily the easiest system that you can run in the NFL. It's not like a West Coast offense. It's different. So give the guys time. It's exciting, right? Like the Patriots, the buzz around Vrabel I haven't seen buzz like this in a while, to be quite honest. I even when Belichick was here this last 2 years, there just hasn't been buzz like this. I mean, the Patriots have created like a documentary of Forged in Foxborough, which is super cool, by the way. Like if you get a chance to watch it, you should. It's on YouTube. The team puts it out. I don't know if it's weekly now or what, but they it's kind of like when they did Hard Knocks with the New York Giants and they went behind the scenes on like the GM level stuff to see what the Giants were doing, which I think everyone wants more of that. I don't know if teams will give us more of that, but we got some of that from the Patriots. We saw their draft process, what teams were calling and what they were trying to trade with them, and that was really cool. We get that access and to get really inside the war room with the guys and to see how things operate, what the debate maybe was between guys, what they thought of them, the phone calls, everything like that. Very cool. Worth checking out. But that buzz around Vrabel, that there was no buzz around Mayo, right? I mean, I was excited for Mayo in terms of like a regime change. I thought he would do better than he did, but I underestimated how in over his head he really was. It was way too big of a job for him. And you just see the way Vrabel carries himself. He is so much more secure. He is confident. He's like, these are my guys, and I know exactly what I'm going to do. And Mayo he was different. He needed more time. And I hope he gets another chance to continue like assistant coach or whatever it is in his career. But there is definitely a lot of buzz around Vrabel, and I think I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be really cool. Speaking of buzz, Will Campbell, the first round pick, number 4 overall for the Patriots, also has some buzz. I think people were kind of like meh about the pick initially, but then like he said his line of "I will fight and die" and like all this stuff. And I think people have really bought in. And he's playing left tackle at OTAs. He's working with Morgan Moses every day after practice. That to me, like, yes, here we go. This is now your all-pro tackle for the next 15 years, 10 years, whatever it is. Hopefully, hopefully he stays healthy and he can protect Drake May's blindside. But the fact that he's seeking out Morgan Moses, this veteran, this guy who's going to also protect Drake May, that's exactly what you want from your rookie. Any position you want your rookie going to the veteran and asking him, hey, can I work with you so that we can make my game better? And by me being better at my job, it's going to help you. He'll be on the other end of the line. It will help Morgan Moses. It's super fun to see. I mean, you want the kid to just be a workhorse. He is a workhorse. That's one of the things they talked about. He's wired right. They said that in the Fortune Foxborough doc. I'm so glad they have someone to protect Drake May, because he's your franchise, he's your guy, and if he's going to develop to think the way I think he will and the way I think the organization believes he will, he is your franchise, right? He is hopefully your Jason Tatum. But yeah, it's going to be very, very fun. We have to be patient, but it's going to be very fun. Also, in breaking news, the Tush Push has not been banned by the NFL. Contrary to reporting that suggested it would be banned, it is not banned, and I'm happy it's not banned, because why are you trying to ban a play that, like, you're just mad you can't stop it? You're mad you can't stop it, but that you shouldn't punish the Eagles just because you can't stop the play. It also sets a really bad precedent. A really bad precedent. You figure it out, man. Figure it out. Have your defensive coordinator figure something out. I don't know. They were smart enough to come up with a play that is legal, that works. And maybe it doesn't work for other teams. They just have a way to do it. Jalen Hurts is a unique type of, like, strong to be able to do it. He gets low enough. Why are you banning? Like, no, absolutely not. I do not want plays. I mean, the NFL does ban plays, right? Like, you can't jump over the field goals. The defense can't, like, jump over. They can, but if they hit somebody, it's a flag. Like, they ban that because, like, the Pats are doing it and they don't like it. I hate when they ban plays. It's like, let teams, they were creative enough to come up with stuff. You have to let them try to scheme against it. it's so frustrating. So I'm very glad the Tush Push was not banned. Because now it's a fun challenge, in my opinion. Who can stop the Tush Push? No one could last year. It's a fun challenge. Now this year, who can stop it? I'd love to see it. I'd love to see who can come up with it. Where we've added another layer of like mystery behind the Tush Push now. Of like, is it truly unstoppable? The league didn't ban it, so now it's up to the teams to do it themselves, to stop it themselves. It is very fun and very exciting, and I am thrilled about it. One more thing about the Jason Tatum injury I kind of wanted to circle back to. Jason Tatum's injury, to me, is on par with Tom Brady tearing his ACL. Tom Brady was coming off a Super Bowl loss, right, with that 16-0 team. Jason Tatum coming off a finals win, but Tom Brady was, I think, close to 30, if not 30. So he's a little older than Jason Tatum, but 08. In 08, gets rammed into by a defender and tears his ACL, which is why you can't tackle quarterbacks below the knees anymore, by the way, because someone did that and it cost Tom Brady a year of his career. That was so devastating in New England. It was devastating. To me, Jason Tatum tearing his Achilles is the same level of devastating. People are upset. People are sad. Man, people are like crying about it. Like, I was devastated when he tore his Achilles. And I was devastated when Tom Brady tore his ACL. I remember staring at the TV like in disbelief. Like, no, he's fine. Tom Brady doesn't get hurt, right? He was pretty notorious for being healthy. But you got the news and you were like, oh my God. And the sky was kind of falling at that point. And it's like, what do we do? What do we do? Our guy, he's out for a year. And that's a year on a team. Man, that's a year on a team that probably could have gone back. And they had Matt Castle. They went 10-6, which is still like a very good record. Like, it's not bad. By Patriots standards, it was like 6 losses. But it's like a good record. Win double-digit games in the NFL, but they missed the playoffs. I think the Dolphins got in that year. I don't remember, but they missed the playoffs. I think the Jets and Dolphins or someone. I forget who. I feel like it's the Dolphins. They got in that year, and it was just a very sad vibe. It's sad now around Tatum. We wish him the best. He's been in touch with Kevin Durant, again, kind of the gold standard for this type of injury. Super excited for him to build on that relationship with Kevin Durant and rehab and stuff. And I look forward to the updates about him. And in the meantime, there is WNBA basketball. And it is exciting. It is Paige Bueckers, Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu, all these girlies. Angel Reese, we are just, Asia Wilson, we just can't forget about Asia Wilson, man. She's always lurking. As long as she's playing basketball, those Las Vegas Aces are a threat. Chelsea Gray is out there. There's so much talent, and it's so exciting, and it's ethical hoops. Right, I was complaining about the non-ethical way SGA plays. Good fundamental ethical hoops, man. And it is, if you're a hooper, you have to watch WNBA. It is so good. And again, to see where the league was and where it is, miles ahead of where it was. But the talent's always been there. The talent has always been there, and I'm glad people are finally paying attention. So thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. We will be back hopefully next week. That's the goal. Make this weekly. Thanks for coming on this journey with me, and I will see you all around. Have a great one.